Hey, this is Terry Funk, and this is the Awesome Wrestling Show. You guys tune in, listen, pay attention.
Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network, here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
Welcome. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. I'm Glenn Moore, joined here by Steve Guy, recouping from our long weekend of wrestling and holiday partaking. And we are here on a Tuesday, a little bit earlier for you here on Tuesday. Sunny day here in Cleveland, Ohio. Steve, how are you feeling after this long weekend?
I'm still pretty tired.
I am too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything on Sunday.
I didn't either, but I had to. Between Friday of J-Lit here for AIW and, the regular work day that I had, I was up at 6 in the morning and, of course, didn't go to bed till 5:30 in the morning. And then I had to wake up because I had to be at J-Lit on Saturday to ring announce too for the afternoon show. And then when I thought that I was going to be able to sleep in on Sunday, it turned out I didn't because I had to go do family stuff and help my parents set up. And I had to be in beautiful Newberry, Ohio, 45 minutes away from where I live.
Wow.
At like 10:30, 11. So there was no sleeping in then either.
It was a long weekend, a great weekend of wrestling. If you're in the Cleveland area, a lot of you attended J-Lit by AIW, and then that was Friday and Saturday. And you had Billy Gunn in town, you had Hornswoggle, Brian Myers, Dan Severin, just to name a few. A great weekend of wrestling. You had the students perform in the afternoon. You had a Billy Gunn seminar. I actually watched the whole thing. It was great to watch Billy Gunn teach some students some stuff. But overall, a great weekend. And segueing into that, our guest this week is the one Billy Gunn. Well, badass Billy Gunn, the one Billy Gunn, Kip James. Kip the Kipper. Any of his nicknames. We go over all his nicknames in the interview. Part 1 is this week, coming up here in about 10 minutes, and then we have part 2 next week. So over an hour of interviews with Billy Gunn, and then after, in a couple of weeks, we're going to air our Hornswoggle / Brian Myers / Nunzio / Billy Gunn rant interview. But mainly it was Hornswoggle and Brian Myers together with us. So that will be going up in a couple of weeks here on the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. So part 1 of Billy Gunn, we talk about his entrance music, all his nicknames. We weave in and out of wrestling. We talk about why he vapes. Yes, Billy Gunn is a guy that vapes.
Loves the vape.
And then we talk wrestling, comparisons to Dolph Ziggler, why guys who are getting booed when they're trying to get, pushed to the moon. So a lot of good content with Billy Gunn, a great interview, probably one of the better interviews that I've partaken because Steve was too busy to be in the interview.
It was ring announcing.
I enjoyed my almost hour and 10-minute conversation with Billy Gunn. And like I said, he was vaping the whole time. He even blew some smoke rings.
Oh, yeah?
For me. You can't see it in the podcast, but...
Did he blow any smoke up your ass?
No, he did not. It was all true. So great interview with Billy Gunn coming up here very, very shortly. But first, let's get to business here, Mr. Steve Guy. The brand split was announced Wednesday of last week. So figures we post a show, breaking news happens the next day, and we have to wait a week to talk about it. Now, you would think on Raw they would elaborate a little bit more on what's going to be happening with this brand split. But no. It turned out to be a dancing contest between Stephanie and Shane. Stephanie did not get down. We were cut off by the Vaudevillains. Perfect heel tactic. But, dude, Steve, we didn't get any kind of information other than what we were told on Wednesday. There's some speculation. I wrote 5 reasons why the split will work, why they won't work. But, dude, Monday was a perfect time to kind of build momentum for this thing. It is a month and a half away, but we didn't get any kind of confirmation about a draft. Who's going to go where?
Well,
nothing.
I think because they want to do it right, and kudos to them for that.
Then why?
I think
then
they
why
had
announce
some.
it?
Well, because
why
in
not
this
wait?
day and age, everything leaks, and so who knows? Probably they already had gotten word that something had leaked, and let's get out in front of this and let's announce that it's going to in fact happen.
All right.
And so kudos to Stephanie and Shane for being on Raw, and they made this whole little thing with the New Day and flat out said things have still not been decided yet, and that's fine. I would rather them plan it out. The split's not going to happen until July.
Right. They
still got another month and a half to determine those things. So, they probably had some plans for going into this June pay-per-view for Money in the Bank, and they're moving forward with that. And the brand split will happen afterwards. So, I'm not upset that they didn't give us any more details, because to me that seems like they're going to do things right. It's like they're learning from their past.
Yeah. Which I can see that, but then let's see, give us maybe some stuff here and there, but I think they honestly, not just them, because we know Shane's not involved with anything backstage, and obviously Stephanie is Stephanie, but I don't think creative knows who's going to go where. You still got, Randy Orton needs to come back. You still have guys that maybe need to make a predominant role on the show for them to be intertwined with the draft. So I think Brian Alvarez with Wrestling Observer said the draft will be officially on July 11th in Detroit for Raw. Now, my question to you, why not make this like a NFL draft kind of show on the network for 2 hours and kind of have...
Yeah, instead of on Raw.
Instead of on Raw where you're mixing with matches. Yeah, you want that live crowd reaction, but why not make it into like a actual kind of draft feel like the NBA and NFL do?
Almost like you should do it as a pre-Raw.
Yeah.
Right? And so then, hey, here's Monday Night Raw for the night. The one thing I will say is, remember the first draft or whatever that they did? And for the life of me, I wish maybe it was Myers. It was Myers that when we talked to him the first time around, and we talked about how nobody knew actually which side they were going to. That is fun as a fan to be able to watch that. Like for the superstars, they have no clue what's going to happen, and then see their genuine reaction.
Right.
So that's kind of amusing, and maybe that's why they're going to do it with Raw. Not sure. Why not make it? But you can make it a 2-day event if they are going to go live with SmackDown. Really, I think they should hold off the draft for that, and you have round 1 and then round 2. That could be a bit more. Yeah. Fun and entertaining.
What will probably happen is they'll probably have the draft on Raw, and then maybe the network after Raw they'll have a live, the last X amount of picks.
Yeah.
Whatever they do. And then who knows if Stephanie and Shane will split up and run SmackDown. It's funny how in their video, like the big thing was like, I want to run SmackDown, but then they were fighting over, I want to run Raw for the last 2 months. Like,
yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, the brand split, but then again, have they done anything right?
That's what I'm saying. That's
to warrant
I'm
them
good
trusting,
That's why I'm good with them planning this one out.
Planning it out. I agree, and we'll see what happens. No more live SmackDown spoilers on Tuesday nights. You have a live show, which brings in kind of like when I am, because I usually read the spoilers on Tuesday and then dictate if I'm going to watch SmackDown on Thursday.
We're going to have to move the day we record our podcast.
Yeah, and we know, but now, we're going to have to move it to
Wednesday.
Move it to Wednesday. But this brings a whole surprise factor back to SmackDown because, if you tape something on Tuesday, it's leaked out, everybody knows about it by Thursday. Now you can have surprises. You can have guys come out that don't normally they save for Monday or for pay-per-view. So I like the whole live aspect of SmackDown going to Tuesday, and let's see how this works. I hope they bring back the fist for SmackDown.
Yeah, there you go.
Bring back the unique sets.
Does this spell the end of NXT?
I do not think so. I think they will purge the roster and bring up a lot of guys. I think NXT will be more developmental. It won't be as big as it was. I think we saw the peak of NXT when they came to Cleveland last year.
Right.
And we saw Owens and Zayn, and we saw Samoa Joe and Baron
Finn
Corbin.
Was there,
everybody. The women's wrestling.
Yeah.
And we're not taking away anything from who's at NXT now or who's going to be at NXT, but they took the top indie stars, and that was I think the glory days of NXT. Yeah, it was going to be popular to watch, but I think you're going to have all the good wrestlers go up to SmackDown and Raw, and you're going to be left with a good product in NXT, but not as big as it was last year.
Will this purging of a roster that is certainly bound to happen set up an amazing J-Lit for next year at AIW?
All right.
What do you think?
We could see Cody Rhodes next year.
That would be pretty awesome.
We can see Damian Sandow. We can see who else?
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
Adam Rose.
I think Rose is done for a little bit.
Yeah, it could be. For those who didn't listen, the J-Lit was a 2-day tournament at AIW, and 24 stars competed the first day, so we had 12 singles matches, and the next night it was 3 4-way matches, and then it culminated in a triple threat match. Walking Weapon Josh Alexander made his return. He wins the whole thing. And Glenn, now you've been to WrestleMania, and now this year we both truly experienced J-Lit weekend.
Yeah.
I feel like it's fair to say, if you are a big wrestling fan, this is a weekend worth setting aside and having fun with because of how John Thorne and AIW guys did it right, and they get the bar afterwards, and you can hang out with all these guys that were there.
Yeah, I thought it was a good weekend of wrestling. Yeah,
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Very unique.
Yeah, and then Cabana's show was there.
Yeah,
it was a very unique weekend. So for me, I'm gonna every year start looking forward to this second to WrestleMania. But who would you put on there? If you're purging the roster right now, NXT, I feel we're going to lose some people from NXT, I think.
To the main roster.
Yeah, but don't you get the feeling that maybe you're going to lose some people in general?
Oh, I mean,
or do you think main roster people will be lost? Okay, here's going to be the question from the brand split. Will main roster people be lost so that NXT people can come up, and then they'll just grab more people for NXT?
No, I think that the current roster, maybe some guys who don't get TV time now, nobody notable will get released, but some NXT like Finn will probably come up.
Yeah,
Samoa Joe definitely. Maybe you'll see a tag team to fill out, even out the tag teams between the two shows.
The American Alphas or somebody.
But I don't think you're going to see a purge. I mean purge as taking them off NXT and putting them on the main roster. I'm not meaning guys.
Oh, you don't think
fired.
they're going to leave there?
No, I don't think anybody's major's going to get fired. NXT still needs a roster. They still need developmental. They're putting on shows that are selling out when they go places. So I think it's going to be more of bringing talent up from NXT to the main roster than the main roster cutting back and firing people. I think that wave is done, and you're going to see more NXT people being brought up. And there's still, Apollo Crews, who has made a debut, but he's kind of been off TV. He made some appearances, but not wrestling. He's not in the major storyline. So guys like that will finally have proper storylines. And we don't know if there's going to be A, B pay-per-views. We don't know yet. So you can speculate, but I think we should probably wait until there's concrete evidence of what they're going to do with this brand split.
Let me ask one more question before we get to the interview on your thought on this.
All right.
Could you see NXT being filled with more people like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, in that NXT starts to kind of bring these guys in and out? They can go work the independents, but they bring them in to film the TV show, and they make the stars that way. Like a lot of them, they can work at the Performance Center, so they still have some people like that. But to make sure that they have good wrestling and entertaining, they're bringing in more seasoned people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think you'll see
because
more.
A lot of them are going to go because what they have would go to the main roster.
I think you'll see more like freelance contracts, quote unquote, like they do with Johnny and Tommaso and certain other guys that come in. They tape for NXT and then they go out and do their own thing. They're not exclusive to NXT. Maybe that could change. You have Tommaso and Johnny be exclusive, but then again, why? You're still getting paid by WWE. You're still on TV. You can still go out every weekend. You're not living in Orlando. You can still live where you're at. You can still go overseas. I'm sure Johnny would love to be full-time NXT, probably make the main roster. But until you have that jump,
right?
I think he's probably happy. Tommaso's probably happy that they are getting paid by NXT, but also getting paid their own merchandise, their own stuff, their own branding, their own schedule. It's It's something you have to contemplate if you are those guys, because I think the time will come that NXT will go with them and say, we want you full time. Do you want to lose that being your own boss, basically?
Yeah, and I think seeing how that has worked out successfully to this point, it's something worth contemplating if you're WWE.
Yeah.
Is just doing that with even more people.
Yeah. Like I said, before we wrap this up and go to interview, but they have a month and a half to figure it out. I'm sure more stuff will get leaked out or announced on Raw and SmackDown, but I do like the live SmackDown factor. Monday, Tuesday. That's 3 days of wrestling. That's almost 8 hours of programming. Could be a little bit too much for the casual fan for 3 days, but then again, the whole live aspect is, I think it's great. And geez, TNA, what's going to happen to TNA? They're going to go live against SmackDown?
Back to Thursdays, maybe. I don't know.
We're going to just keep on moving, and WWE is just going to keep moving with them. So you have that factor too. So as news breaks with this brand split and what happens, we'll talk about it on the show. Maybe, Steve, closer to July the 18th, 19th of when the official brand split will happen, maybe we'll have our own draft show.
Okay. All
right. I'll be the GM of Raw. You can have SmackDown.
Oh.
And we have our own pickings of superstars.
All right.
We should do it. Well, maybe we'll bring in like a commissioner guy. Maybe we'll have a special guest commissioner.
Oh.
We'll bring in someone to be the moderator between, I don't know.
Sure.
We'll make it fun. All right. Let's get into our interview with badass Billy Gunn. Here, This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. First half of this interview is this week. Part 2 is next week. But if you enjoy just shooting the shit with a wrestler, also mixed in with some wrestling questions, Billy Gunn is absolutely entertaining. So sit back and listen to our interview with badass Billy Gunn.
I'm a nice man. Yeah, I'm a nice man. Yeah.
Our guest this week is a man that you know as Rockabilly.
Yeah.
The New Age Outlaw.
Yeah.
The Kipper.
Well, I don't know if that's official. That was what I called in high school. I don't know if that's official wrestling.
I'm going by all the nicknames I see right here on this list.
Yeah, but some of them are just like nicknames. They're not like wrestling names.
Okay.
Like the Kip. That was
the Kipper is like a nickname?
It is. Because Kip is my middle name, is my real name.
Okay, yeah.
And that's my mom's maiden name. So, but people, it's too short, so they all got to add stuff to it. Of course, there's a Kipper Fish, and then, there's a Kipper Show over in London and stuff. So
I see. Well, obviously, Billy Gunn. Badass Billy Gunn.
Yes.
Is joining us here on the show.
Yes.
So I want to go through your nicknames too. Cute Kip?
Yep, that was TNA. That was with the girls. Beautiful people.
Kip Gunn, Kip James, Kip Montana.
Yep, that was when I very first started with Ron and Don Harris.
Kip Winchester.
Yeah, that was
there. You go.
Too.
Mr. Ass, of course. Of course, we know about that. Yeah. And the Outlaw, the G-Man. Very simple. The G-Man.
Yeah. I think that was just a thing off the Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, G-Man. Oh.
All right.
It's like a scene out of Vacation.
Now, you were also known on television as the Avenger, Xavier Prescott.
No.
Were you on Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was it.
There you go.
That was it. I
back
forgot.
in 2000.
Yeah. That's
there
right.
You go.
I forgot about that.
Officially an actor.
God, I am officially an actor.
You are, yeah. Well, being a wrestler, you got to be. But
yeah, you do. You got but we're not noticed in the acting world, which is horse manure.
Yeah.
Because I feel that we do more with our faces and with our expressions. Mind you have to be good to do that.
Yeah.
Like there's good actors, like there's DiCaprio, and then there's
who's your example of a bad actor?
I'm trying. Hold on. I wanted it to come to me a little faster than that, but it didn't.
All
right. Jim Carrey.
You don't think Jim Carrey's a good actor?
I think he's good, but he's stuck in like the Grinch role.
Okay,
right?
so are we talking about Jim Carrey?
Good.
Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey? Good.
Yes.
Good.
No, so now he's good, but when you're comparing him to DiCaprio, it's not really comparable, is it?
I would go more towards maybe like Zach.
How about Roberts? How about
Julia Roberts?
No, not. Oh God, no. Her brother. Played with Austin in Expendables first one.
Eric.
Eric Roberts. Yeah, is that it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It sounds
so
right.
he's He's okay.
Yeah, but
right?
he's not, like-
There's some wrestlers that are okay.
He's like music video good.
We're so off track.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
are.
Sorry, people.
Do you realize that your Mr. Ass entrance theme, its lyrics? Do you understand what's
Okay,
what's in the lyrics?
so thanks for bringing that up. By the way, this is good.
First
This
question.
is good. This is good
Yeah, first question.
conversation topic
There
right
you
here.
go.
So, I had this asked to me
Okay.
about a week ago.
Okay.
They go, "Have you really ever listened to that song?" And I go, "No, I never really did. I never really listened to the lyrics of that song. I just, when they played it for me, they said, 'Hey, we got new music for you.'" Okay. So I don't listen to it. I listen to it. This will sound weird. I listen to it movement-wise. I don't listen to this what they're saying as much as what it does for me when I'm walking.
All right, I'm going to pull the lyrics up because there's some
No,
parts.
we're picking them and kicking them and kissing them and
sticking 'em?
sticking them and doing all kinds of stuff. So I
Sticking 'em.
really,
What do you mean by sticking them?
like, I don't know. That's the problem. When
There's a difference.
so when they made this, I never listened to the lyrics. I just listened to what it did to me.
Right.
And then for like the first 5 years I heard it, I was like, and then finally somebody went, "Have you heard the lyrics to that?"
Yeah.
And I went, "No. Why? What does it say?"
You love to flaunt them. Love to watch them, which is okay. Yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
You love to stick them.
Yeah. I don't know what that entails, though. We could go
Yeah,
in
I
many
don't-
directions
I don't,
with that.
I don't know about
Right?
that. A little tight one can stop me on a dime, which is good.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Some of them are good, but some of them are people's imaginations run away with them. You know what I mean? Hey, there's a
Somebody
guy.
asked us so little time.
Yes. So there's a guy on the internet. If you have, so for the life of me, got to write this down. Is he analyzes that song in a college seminar?
Okay.
He goes through the song, like just picks it to pieces, not in a bad way.
Right.
It is absolutely hilarious. Like he does his seminar with that music, breaking that down in some form or fashion that's relevant to the class that he's teaching. It is absolutely hilarious. But I can't remember.
There's so many meetings about certain lyrics of your entrance theme that it's one of those to where you memorize, as a kid growing up, and I won't make you feel old.
No, you can't make me feel older than I already do.
As a teenager, listening to that, and I'm listening as a 14, 15-year-old, I'm just like, love to stick 'em, I'm just.
Yeah, but it didn't matter though, did it? When we still came out and did our thing, you still went, yay.
Definitely.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
And then you go for the one Billy. Okay, I forgot your nickname. The one Billy Gunn.
Yes.
That wasn't listed for some reason. Is that a good thing?
No. I'm not not proud of anything that I've done.
Right.
Some things were better than other, and some things worked, and some things didn't work.
Yeah, I don't want to be a downer. But
no, not at all. There's nothing now in my career, this stage of my life, that could bring me down.
All right, so we're sitting here in Cleveland, Ohio, and I have to point out,
I'm vaping. I know. I am.
You're vaping, dude.
So let me tell you, this is the thing. Like I'm on
Where's your fedora?
My what?
Fedora.
What's that? Oh, the hat thing. No.
Where's your
No. So this is the thing. Let me give you the background of this. I don't do it just because it's a fashionable thing to do.
First, before you get into it, all right, so I walk in here, all right, and I've been a fan for so many years. All right, I see badass Billy Gunn sitting there again by himself, and I see this big cloud of smoke. And I'm like, this guy vapes.
So I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you the background of this.
All right. Well, what flavor is that?
This is they gave it to me in Texas at Bully Vapes in Huntsville, Texas.
Okay.
That's my little plug for them because they were awesome. I dipped snuff for 35 years.
Okay.
I couldn't not stop.
Right.
It was just impossible because I just have to be doing something, and that was me. And then I had snuff in my mouth all the time, and it was driving me nuts.
Okay.
So I had to quit. Big Show's wife, Bess, hooks me up and says, "Here, try this. It'll make you stop." And I went, I am not walking around puffing on a vape thing and
Leaving
look
a cloud
like
of
a
smoke in your
complete
dab.
and utter idiot.
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, you either want to do that or quit dipping stuff." Because I tried the patches, the nicotine, the gum, and all that. Nothing. Lo and behold, I get this thing, and I haven't dipped snuff in a year and a half. Now I've gone from 24 milligram nicotine to 3, so I should be able to stop here before too long.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it benefited you.
It has benefited me very much. So that's why I don't mind that people go,
Look at
"You're
you,
a
like,
vapor, man. What are you
Billy
like?"
Gunn's
But
vaping.
but until they hear my story, and then they
Yeah.
go, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Like
for
it's
you.
not you're not just being a follower.
You're not just trying to be a
Cool,
guy.
yeah. I'm like,
I'm cool.
yeah, those days are over.
sitting
Me
here
trying to be
vaping.
cool are no longer
Yeah.
relevant.
Do you have a favorite flavor? I can't believe I'm asking this, Steve.
Yeah, it's any custards really.
Okay.
Like the custards and me
I have
get
no
along
clue.
really well.
I'm not a vapor. I don't do that.
It's
kind
all
of stuff,
good.
So.
Yeah.
If you're not, I'm not a smoker. I did a little bit of dip playing baseball, but
Sure.
never got hooked to it.
No.
I mean, can someone that doesn't even do any kind of smoking or anything can pick up on vaping? Or?
Oh, they can, but I don't know why you would, because then they're going to go, "Hey, why do you vape?" And you go, "Oh, God,
It's cool.
because I'm a jerk off."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't like. There's nothing worse than going in these vape shops and these guys sitting around doing it. And I have a tendency to kind of be a little bored and go, "Hey, so what do you guys been quit smoking or nothing?" They go, "No, we just do it." Like, what nicotine is in there? Oh, it's not. We just do it for the cloud.
Because it's cool to do. Now, can you do
so
can
you're a jerk off, like more or less.
douchebag, basically.
Yeah, douchebag.
douchebag.
There you go.
So can you do the tricks? Can you
No, I
do
can't
the
do
circles and blowing?
I try. I've tried to blow a smoke ring, but I
Yeah,
look like
you
a
can't?
find out of water.
Can you do it right now?
No,
Can
no,
you
I watch. So
All right, I'll help you play by play. So he's sucking in the air,
What?
and he's trying to do a smoke. No. Oh, you got a little one. You got a little one. I wish it was a video podcast because then you would have.
Yeah, 'cause it's
you got
really-
a little couple there going.
yeah, no, but I
not
can't
bad.
pop. I don't think I popped my jaws right. I think because they're all messed up, so we don't
Yeah.
pop it right.
That's, damn, I would never have thought.
Yeah.
2016, man. What are they
Yeah.
going to come up with
Hey,
next?
yeah, right. Yeah.
What are they going to do?
What the hell?
So, all right, let's go back.
Where
now,
do we
you
go to?
are here in the indie scene.
I am on the
making your
indie scene.
rounds. You
I
faced
am.
off against Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
Now I heard. Now, little birdie told me. You probably know I'm going to ask you.
No, I don't. No.
Little birdie told me that you didn't know the difference between Brian Myers and Kurt Hawkins.
I didn't.
So you thought they're two different people.
Yes.
So you thought that Brian Myers was the random indie guy.
Yes.
So you-
No, because all I've ever known is Kurt is by Kurt.
Right,
I
yeah,
coached
yeah,
him
yeah.
a little bit when he was still in New York.
Yeah.
When I was there, and then I didn't know that was his alter ego.
So
And I feel bad for that.
Yeah.
But I'm so.
it's not a bad thing. I think it's funny. More
No,
than,
I probably should like do a little bit more study, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
trying
many
to keep
guys
my
now, man.
schedule. Yeah. I'm just trying to keep my schedule in line, which is
Now,
hard enough.
I'm sure you faced off against indie guys that are maybe not as experienced as guys you faced in the past.
The difference is, and I don't mean to cut you off on your own
No problem,
podcast, is there's times when you want to go out there and work, and I know Kurt,
Yeah.
so like normal indie guys that I have to work are awful.
Yeah.
Are awful. So I can't really put my guard down and have as much fun as I want to.
Yeah.
But with tonight with Kurt was awesome because
Yeah.
I don't have anything to worry about.
He's a pro.
He is, and he's very good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
So I mean, So what was your reaction when you realized? Oh, okay, it's Kurt Hawkins.
No, I went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't really put it. I didn't really put it over.
I wanted to see your face when you
no,
realized.
I
you
really
could see a
did.
person.
I didn't really put it over. I just went, oh,
okay.
I thought I was working somebody else.
Not like, okay, thank goodness. It's
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
a guy.
no.
Yeah.
No, as soon as I went, so I'm working you, and he goes, yeah. I went, oh, that's awesome because now
Yeah.
I actually can have some fun. I can
Yeah.
relax and not worry about somebody knocking my teeth
Yeah.
out or something.
What's
like
good?
Yeah. No.
Little birdie told me that, so I was just
Yeah.
curious.
Well, that birdie has a big beak.
it's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you look bad or anything.
Hey, so can I ask a question on your podcast?
Oh, sure, dude.
What did you think of Colt Cabanas?
Colt Cabana's what?
Your little podcast with Colt Cabana.
Oh, I've interviewed him a few times. He's great.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, he's great.
Oh,
You like Colt?
I do like him.
Yeah.
We have this thing where I really didn't put him over when I saw him one time after I hadn't seen him in a long time, and he thought we had heat.
Okay.
But I was in a different zone. I was in a mind zone and not really because I love him. I think he's very talented.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, he's
does
very,
a bunch
yeah.
of different things, right?
Yeah.
But he came to me and asked me if we had heat, and I had to apologize for acting like a doucher.
You seem very unapproachable.
I do,
I'm being
and I don't,
honest
and
about
I'm very approachable. I have this thing like
you have the if you're a woman, you have the resting bitch face.
what
which means
what is a wrestling bitch face?
Resting bitch face, which means you don't have a woman like you see a girl and she just has like a don't talk to me look.
Yeah.
Like, but she's really nice and she's approachable, but she just has the look of someone that you don't. Maybe
You know
want
what?
to
Sometimes, and I agree with you. Sometimes
I'm not
I
trying to
get
be
in
mean.
that-
I hope you
no,
don't
no,
take
no,
it the
no,
wrong
no, no. But no, because I understand that. I
Yeah.
do understand that because
Yeah.
I have that look sometimes, especially because I just drove back from Texas. I just got a new truck that my buddy Wes Abbott sold me from Huntsville. So I had to drive my other truck over there.
Okay.
And because I went to college at Sam Houston, I grew up with Wes, so he's a really good friend of mine, and hooked me up with a brand new F-150 that's awesome. So I drove there, drove back yesterday, got on a plane, came here. My
Delayed
first flight
flight,
was
yeah,
canceled.
yeah.
So I'm in that. I enjoy being here, but I'm kind of trying to catch up with myself
Yeah.
because I have a tendency to have to stop and slow down and go,
Yeah.
okay, and don't get all bent out of shape because I used to do that and it
Yeah.
led to bad things.
Yeah.
So now I just kind of sit back, and when I get, and I know what you're talking about because when I sit back and kind of just get in that,
like-
it's kind of like, hey, do I say hello to him?
Yeah.
Or what an asshole.
So you get awkward too, then, right? I mean, you feel
Sure.
the awkwardness.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
you
no.
are you are a known face. People know who you are. So
Yeah, and I don't really mean to be
You're not
like
big
that.
time
I don't
people.
mean to be like that, but a lot of people in the airport. But you got to understand.
I think airports off. With
Is
wrestling,
people
I think-
go, I wanted to say something to you and say hello, and I go,
Yeah.
well, why didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't look like you really were in there. I'm like, I'm walking through an airport, for God's sakes,
Yeah.
around a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of give me that.
I feel like, okay, I'm a fan. Obviously, I'm a fan, but I also respect.
Hold on
my
while I puff.
boundaries. Oh, this is great. Excuse me while I vape.
Yeah, excuse me. I have to take a puff.
But I feel like the airport's like. I'm sure you take countless amount of photos and conversations. I feel
And
like
I
the
love it,
airport-
by the way. And I really
Yeah.
do.
But I feel like overall, maybe people shouldn't camp out at the airport knowing people are flying in, and you guys go up a flight.
But they're going to.
And no one's happy when at the airport. I mean,
No.
you get the rare
Yeah.
people. Maybe they're going to a beach or something. But I mean, you're there for work, and you get people camping out. Camping out, waiting for you.
Yeah, but you
I'm
have
not
to
used to
expect that. You have to. That's the thing. We're in a line of work that people want to say something to
Yeah.
you. They want you to sign stuff. They just want to interact with you.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't like it and it irritates you, then don't do it.
Yeah.
So you have to. You have some obligation. Doesn't mean that you're going to be in a good mood every single day.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to, but you have to be at least cordial. And
Yeah.
you can't curse people out.
Right.
For saying something to you.
Now,
you know what I mean?
if you're a heel on TV, maybe.
No, I don't. I still don't think nowadays it's not even acceptable.
No.
Like back in the day, it was
Yeah.
because they go, "Oh, well, he plays a mean guy on TV,
Yeah,
and he's
I'm not
really
signing
is a mean
autographs."
guy."
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a little bit more acceptable back then. But
Yeah.
these days, everybody knows what we do,
Yeah.
and it's you can be a heel to a certain extent, but you can't do that out in public.
Yeah.
That's safe for TV. We turn it on and off. Right, when I go home and I walk through the front door, my wife still thinks I'm Billy Gunn. She turns me around and goes, "Yeah, you just go right back out there and come back."
Do you have your entrance play when you walk through the door?
Yeah. Okay, honey, hit it. But it's hard for us to turn it off and on.
Yeah.
Right. They don't want the guy that's married and has 2 boys and like really cool.
Yeah,
they want
Mr.
that.
Ass.
They want yes. That's who they want. Like
Or-
you're a regular
or
dude.
rockabilly, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You're like a regular dude. I don't want that guy.
Yeah.
I want the guy I see on TV.
Yeah. I want you to do the sucker thing.
Yeah.
Do it for me.
Yeah, yeah. Do it. Can we suck it right now? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sounds so bad.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest request you've ever gotten from a fan?
I don't know. It's
Signing a pair of nice.
well, that was
nice
a gimme,
chest.
right? I've signed a butts, and
That's not- yeah.
it's not, that. Yeah, it's not. It's just everybody wants to, hey, suck it. You suck
Yeah.
it. You right, suck it.
So you do it? Do you,
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, you have
yeah.
to.
Do it right now
If
for the
it's,
show.
I
Do it-
don't.
do it right now for the. No, you don't have to.
I don't do anything inappropriate anymore. I
Yeah.
kind of have to think about it and
Social
go,
media,
would my
man.
wife approve of this? Because
Yeah.
I used to be a little freer back in the day and just
right.
not care. But now I have other people's feelings I have to take into consideration.
I mean, social media, man. People, there's cameras always watching.
And something taken harmless can end up hurting her feelings. So I just stay away from that stuff.
Especially everybody seems to be so thin-skinned now, and
you
can't take criticism. Or
and they're looking
happens.
to catch something to put out there so they can get some. Hey, this will get me followers if I catch Billy signing somebody's butt.
And the Tough Enough when I think. There was a video of you being hard on that one of the cassettes.
ZZ.
Yeah, ZZ.
And it was awesome, by the way. And it wasn't that I was being hard on him. That was needed to happen.
Real emotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Like it needed to understand where I was coming from. And sometimes because I am very passionate about what I do. I love it. I still love it to this day. I love going out there and being in front of people. And I love doing what I do. And when I teach somebody what I do, when I find that they're kind of not giving me 100%, you get open fired on.
Especially when they have the opportunity of a lifetime.
And it is a huge opportunity.
Yeah. You see a lot of nowadays. You see a lot of people being plucked from different industries. Like the Arnold Classic has produced some wrestlers, no experience whatsoever, but they look good. They have the look.
Sure.
Pluck them out, put them in the performance center. Other people that maybe don't be football players, athletes that
Baron Corbin,
very talented people, in their profession, but being groomed to be a WB superstar.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the right route to go, or do you think that
I think it is.
Their keeps here, like an indie scene.
No, not anymore.
Yeah,
that's obsolete now.
Okay.
Now you're looking for the elite athlete. Now I'm looking for, not that we don't have elite athletes in what we do, but we're getting thinner.
Yeah,
they're getting hard to come by.
Yeah,
like the talented, big, athletic guys are just kind of hard to come by.
Yeah. So
when you have some place like the Performance Center and you have WWE and you're looking for NFL, MLB, soccer guy, you're looking for the elite athlete that doesn't do what they do anymore. That doesn't necessarily mean that they can do what we do.
Right. Yeah.
Right? But out of 100 that you go through, maybe you'll get one that goes, oh, I can do this for a little while longer than expected. So I think it is a good thing. I don't think that you have to grow up your entire life loving wrestling to get into wrestling and be a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Case in point, me. Not until I was 25. I've never watched this stuff. I thought it was the hokiest, silliest shit. I mean, stuff I've ever. Oh, you can?
Yeah.
So, I don't like to, but thanks. I thought it was the silliest stuff I've ever seen. And when they asked me to try it, I laughed them out of the building because it was hilarious. Now, look at me 27 years later.
You're a legend.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because I, like everybody else, kind of just took it for face value and went. I'm way too athletic to do that. Yeah. I've got way more better things to do with my life than to do that. But this is the one thing that I've done that I'm not good at. Like, I've learned something different every day from everybody.
Yeah.
Like, from everybody. Not just guys that have been in the business for 40 years, but new guys. Yeah, they have ideas because they're so fresh and so new that they're eager to do stuff. And you look and you listen to them, and if you'll just listen and go, wow, let's try that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Nobody has the patent on everything that we do. Nobody, that was the one thing that Vince always told me that always stuck with me, what he said, you never know everything in this business. And if anybody should know at least a majority of it, it's Vince.
Yeah.
And he says he doesn't even know that much about it.
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing about this. So I think if you have a desire once you get in it, now you can't just be handed to you. Here, I'm going to hand you $1 million and go learn how to wrestle. No, that's not. You have to get into it, and then once you're in it, you have to put forth an effort. So I hate when NFL guys come to our thing. I don't hate it like that. I don't have nothing against them, but NFL guys are very spoiled, and although they're very easy to coach, they're kind of on the brink of, well, I don't really have to do that. Oh, no, yeah, you do have to do. You have to do everything.
Yeah.
And Baron Corbin is a perfect example of that. He came in, NFL guy, successful NFL. Now he's successful in this because he did everything that he needed to do to be a star, and he's going to be a huge star.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. He
really
plays
good.
the lone wolf
yes.
heel.
Yeah, and that's him.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
That's great with you're not forcing someone to be someone they're not, and it comes off as awkward on TV. But with Baron, when when I first saw him when he came to NXT here through Cleveland, he was like, okay, yeah, he's good in the ring, but then I saw him again when he came through, and then with WWE and the main roster, I'm like, this guy has not only made a true heel, but also has improved in the ring dramatically.
Yeah,
it's great.
He soaks up stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of, and that's what I mean. A lot of your elite athletes are going to be the most athletic, and if you can get them on track, there's nothing that says that they can't be big stars.
Is there? I'm not trying to get any deeper because I like to keep kind of the curtain pulled somewhat, even though I'm a huge fan. When there is a guy, Roman Reigns, that is getting pushed and he's getting booed constantly, is there does it matter what the crowd reaction is? We want him. We want to push people. We want to push. Is that happening?
There is a certain extent that, hey, this is the guy that we want.
The crowd doesn't dictate everything.
No, they don't. So you can boo him and do what you want to do, but he's still going to be the guy.
Right.
Because he's putting in the work. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Just because the fans aren't following along, they're on board. They're so smart nowadays. Like the thing to do with Cena is to boo him out of the building.
Yeah.
But who is the most over guy that they have?
He's the face of the company.
Oh, brother. Yeah. So people are going to do what they want to do because it's the in thing to do.
Yeah.
They love Roman Reigns, and they know that he's getting shoved down their throat. But that's the thing to do because one time somebody on social media goes, oh, my God, Roman Reigns is getting booed. What are they going to do with the booking? So now everybody goes, oh, that's it. That's the thing to do. We'll boo him. Well, I really like him. It doesn't matter. We still can like him, but we're got to boo him like everybody else.
And Vince is not back there saying, oh, well, they're booing him, so make him a heel.
No.
That's not.
No. You run a court. Fans don't get to dictate what he does.
Right, but
he lets you think that. He lets you think that, and then
I listen to the people.
Yeah.
What about another? On the women's side, because they have obviously a good-looking woman on TV, FaceTime, it's going to make people want to watch. But maybe they're not the best wrestler, but they're going to get pushed either way, like Eva Marie. Maybe she has worked hard. She's posted videos all the time, but still a little bit iffy. It's not. You can tell, even the average fan knows that she's not there yet, but she still is on promos because she looks good, has the red hair.
But that's the thing, is she puts the work in.
Yeah.
Just because you work this hard, should I not reward you and keep on track?
Yeah.
Like, she's getting better, so that's a sign that she's getting better.
Yeah.
Like, she's getting there. We all know, hey, we all go, she's not very good. Yeah, look at her the very first time you saw her to now. She's
improved, definitely. Yeah.
Light years better. So as long as she keeps improving, then they're going to keep doing it because she's doing everything that she's supposed to. She has a heck of a schedule, and she, in between all that, is still trying to learn this business.
I want to talk about you now.
Oh, God.
All right?
Oh, this ought to get nice and
you're
boring.
known as a tag team guy,
I am.
You New Age Outlaws, Smoking Guns, Billy and Chuck. But when you had the gimmick of being a singles guy, you had an IC title run, King of the Ring.
99.
It just didn't seem to click with the fans, or I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to
No.
piss you off.
No, you won't.
You
You won't piss
okay,
me off. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to piss me off.
And why not?
I don't know, because I feel that everybody was feeling what I was feeling is we're just going to give him this because he's really good. He's good, and he's doing most of everything. He's done everything that we've asked him to do, because I am a company guy. I mean, if you want me to go put you over, I put you over. If you want me to put a girl over, I'll put her over. I don't have a problem. I'm just going to make it really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to get me over in the process.
Yeah.
Right? So I've never had a problem getting me over, but I've always worried about getting other people over first. So when I got my singles run, it was just – I was excited because, one, I was getting a run with The Rock, and he was pretty hot at the time. So – but I feel that maybe I was stuck that they go, hey, you're pretty good, but you're way better when you and Brian are together.
Yeah.
You interact better. You're more entertaining. I want to take you like this, but I'm finding it hard to get there.
Yeah.
Because me and Brian was so good.
Oh,
like
amazing.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Like just And it wasn't so much the work part. I get that. It was just how me and him interacted, how we interacted with people, how people interacted with us. We were all on board with that. So when something's that good and then you kind of separate, it wasn't a big split. It was just like, hey, we want to try to go here. I feel that everybody just couldn't get that out of their head.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
He's so good.
Stick to what we like.
Yeah,
tag team.
he's so good.
And you went to
are
Billy and Chuck.
Yeah.
We had that
Yeah.
that run.
Yeah.
With the whole innuendos and
it was awesome.
Great. It was great. Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, and that's another thing. People
Chuck?
always ask me. They go, "Well, how could you do that?" Well, because I'm really good.
Yeah,
that's why.
People. That's one thing.
And at that stage of my career, so I could have never have done that. Like back when I like if I would have came in
97, 98.
Yeah, like if I'd have came in and smoked guns and they went, "No, we don't want to go here. We want you to be gay."
Yeah.
I'd have went, I don't have a problem with any of that, mind you, but I didn't have the mindset of what the business was and how to manipulate people into buying that I was that. Yeah. Because by the time we did the Chuck and Billy thing and we did it, everybody went, I knew he was gay. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Like they bit it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, oh, they're playing characters. No, I knew it. Yeah. I knew he was gay. I just didn't know Chuck was gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had the innuendos anyway with the playing with my ass all the time and doing that and just always like, there it goes back to the lyrics. See how this brings us all the way back to our lyrics again. By the time I got there, I was good to go. Yeah. Now I was wanting to test myself, and Chuck was on board too. It wasn't just me, mind you. We were both had to do this to where we make people go, holy crap.
Believable.
Yeah.
Which is what you want as a wrestling fan. You want it to be believable.
Yes, I don't want to see through that.
Yeah.
But it was they bit it so hard. Hence why the very first night that we did it, like the very next day, we were on a 2-day media tour of everything. Yeah. Good Morning America, Stern.
They bit it, man.
Everything, and that was really cool for us.
Yeah.
Because it was like, wow, we really did do that.
Yeah.
Like just because you see gay guys on TV that play roles on TV, they're not, right? They're just really good at what they do because it tests their ability to act.
That's testament to you for and Chuck being great actors.
Yeah, and that's what I
wrestling.
mean. That's what I don't look at it as, hey, me and we're just playing gay guy. No, we were playing something that we wanted to see if we could get over, if we were good enough to do that.
Yeah.
And we were.
It was great.
I mean, not tooting our own horns, but
you have succeeded at every tag team you've been a part of, basically.
Yeah.
Smoking Guns were a success.
I'm proud of that.
And New Age Outlaws, Billy and Chuck, you've accomplished a lot as a tag team.
Yeah.
And then to me, being high 20s, when you came back, you and Brian as a tag team, and you tag team go at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
It was there in Pittsburgh, man.
Yeah, and that was just a thing to kind of kickstart some people because we were really the last guy where you go, oh, who were their really relevant tags? Oh, Brian and Billy.
You get that pop, people want you back.
Oh yeah, and then then the cool thing when coming back too was guys that grew up watching us now bring their kids and go. It's cool for them to sit there and go, son, this is who I grew up watching. Yep. You know what I mean? So that was really cool.
So I'm friends with Jerry Lawler, good friends with him.
I'm sorry.
So I've been backstage at Raw and whatnot, so I hear conversations and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I remember this one time, I think you guys wrestled, and you came back a couple of years ago, and someone said something in the ring that you're not supposed to now in the PG era. And I remember someone saying, someone told you, not you, but someone in the match, I remember it was Goldust or something like that, I forget, but you can't say certain things now in the ring, even in the ring.
Right.
Not being picked up by TV,
right.
But even in the ring in front of the audience, you can't say now because of the PG era,
right.
Back when you were, saying
right.
suck it and girls.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what that was because I kind of remember something along
I think it was.
I used to do it all the time, though. Like when we first came back, it was like I was not into all this stuff. It just takes over when I'm out there. It just all comes back, and you start doing what makes you comfortable. Yeah. And every time they go, Vince would go,
can't say.
Come on. I'm like, come on. Like, Vince, I'm sorry. It's not. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not doing it to piss you off, you'll come back here and yell at me every time I come back through there. It's just it takes over. I'm trying to not do that.
Yeah. The one guy that gets compared to you, and I'm sure you probably get this question a lot, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Same kind of look.
Yeah.
Same same moves.
Yeah.
And that's nothing bad against him because I feel like having that comparison, they're both guys are great workers and whatnot. But he makes other people look really good.
Yeah.
Can that be a bad thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing with Dolph is he is really good, super athletic, super over and stuff, is he has a tendency to do the same with everybody.
Yeah.
Like he puts people over like $1 million.
And that could backfire
from Brooklyn Brawler up to Undertaker.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And I don't mean that bad. I'm not saying that bad because I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's super flattering. Everybody always says, oh, he's taking your stuff. Well, yeah, we'll let him. I mean, he's really good at it.
Yeah.
So why would it not? Why would it not be cool? You know what I mean?
But it can be a bad thing to be too good.
It can. I mean, you have to maneuver yourself around that. You got to be careful with that.
Because a guy like Baron Corbin would come in, they had a program together when he first came up, and that was great because Dolph is great, Baron is great. And getting Baron over with Dolph, but you want to see Dolph succeed too. You don't want to see him being an enhancement for other people.
Yeah,
want him.
but you don't see anything different than what he's been the other programs Dolph's been on, and then you see him work with Baron, and you go, oh yeah, that's it. Dolph's going to get beat up really good.
It feels like he has been the show off for X amount of years, and it's getting kind of not. I don't want to say stale because he is way over, but it's getting kind of okay. What's next for Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah,
and. He does make everybody look good, and it's a shame because I think he deserves more than what he's getting now.
Sure,
that's all. There's behind the scenes stuff that we don't really know about. But dude, it's been a pleasure talking with you, man. You want to keep going?
I want to take my stuff off. Yeah, I can come back.
You come back.
Yeah. So let's
pause.
So we're hitting pause right now. This is pause. We're gonna go take a vape break, and I'm gonna go take all my
we'll come back like 10 more
stuff. I'm gonna take all my stuff off because I'm sitting here.
Wrap it up.
I just really came back from the ring signing stuff, and then
ring gear
in my ring gear right now, vaping. Lean back with headphones on.
All right, so we're gonna resume this right.
I love to love 'em. I love to kick 'em. I love to shove 'em. I love to stick 'em.
Billy Gunn, one of the probably best interviews that we've done, the show has done, and I personally have done. Very, very fun interview. Part 2 will be next week, and you don't want to miss that part as well. But great interview with Billy Gunn. Very, very entertaining, and a guy that vapes. He's part of Vape Nation, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
You know, Vape Nation?
I mean, I know what it is, but I get it.
Nation,
I know what it means, but I guess I don't
Vape
get
Nation,
it. It's just, do they really do that? Little hand signals? Glenn is basically doing a peace sign one way and then upside down the other, folks.
Vape Nation, y'all.
Yeah, sure.
It's an internet meme thing.
Oh, they do that on the internet?
Yeah, there's parodies. They make fun of
making fun of it. Yeah,
and we talk about that during the interview. Obviously, you weren't a part, but I'm hope you listen back and listen, Steve.
You gotta. I tell you, it could be dangerous anytime you shoot the shit with Mr. Ass.
Yes, definitely. He's an ass man.
Look out.
Loves to stick him. But a great interview with him, and like I said, part 2 is next week.
He was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah,
this weekend. Nice. He was a nice guy to meet.
Yeah, great guy.
You have to talk to him first.
What?
You have to say hello to him first.
Oh, definitely.
That's the key.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
During the interview. I know you weren't a part of it, but I say he has a resting bitch face. Because you look at him, it looks like don't mess with me. I don't want to be messed with.
Yeah.
And you say hi to him, he goes, "Oh, hi." Like unless you're like a somebody. I'm like, this guy's a dick. I told him that. You're like, I thought you were a dick because, like, I said hi to you, but I'm nobody. You don't know who I am, so you barely look at me. You go back to your phone. I'm like, this ain't going to happen. And then he offered to come on. The thing was, so I had Cole Cabana on my podcast. So he saw Colt talking to me. So that kind of legitimized what I was doing.
Right.
So I walked past them. I was just like, what's up? I jokingly, I'm like, you want to come on? Like, I didn't think you'd say yes. He was like, yeah, maybe after my match. Yeah, we'll do it. I'm like, holy crap. All right. It's cool. But yeah, he was great. Great. Part 2 is even better. And our interviews with Hornswoggle and Brian Myers, he goes off on the rant that the audio picked up. So it was great. So back to our discussion with going on in wrestling right now. 2 topics we want to hit on. First one, Goldberg. He was in the hatch. WWE was tweeting out photos of this hatch. We didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
People say it was Bray Wyatt. It could have been Some people were saying that it was Brock Lesnar. It was all these different rumors going
I think
around.
everybody was thinking it was Bray Wyatt because it was like in the middle of spooky woods. What does Goldberg have to do with that setting?
I think it was more, people were, I think, misinterpreting it. That was like, been locked away for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Hasn't been featured anywhere. I think it was more that than Bray Wyatt, because why would they take so much time unlocking the hatch for someone that was just on TV last month?
Right. The beginning actually reminded me a lot of Rambo, First Blood.
Yeah.
When they go into the woods after him and he's hiding out.
It was great.
Yeah.
Then the commercial featured Goldberg being a playable character if you pre-order for WWE 2K17. He comes out surrounded by the sheriffs, walk to the kind of homage to his entrance in WCW and WWE.
Right.
And then he gets in the car, and then you see while he's in the car, the reflection in the window, it says Suplex City backwards. So is that a hint to a Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar Part 2 match?
No, I think it's just a hint to things that are happening in the game.
You think so? But why would they throw that little egg at us? To get us hyped for the video game?
Because Suplex City is such a big thing right now.
Dude, I think it's...
Why not?
Look, and I know that you read a little article said that, it was for WWE 2K.
Yeah.
They are, they're partnered with WWE. It doesn't mean they're combining a deal. Obviously, Vince McMahon has to give permission for Goldberg to be used in the game. It has to be run past Vince. But don't you think that having Goldberg come back in some kind of way, even though it's on TV to promote, would be amazing? To me, it would.
Yes, and I met Goldberg earlier this year.
It's great.
In Miami, and the guy is still what looks to be working shape.
Oh, definitely.
I just don't know who he would work with. I mean, I guess Brock Lesnar, you can have 2.0, but as bad as the first one was, because they both want to get out of there, my worry would be that this would be a letdown because Goldberg is 49, 50 years old, hasn't worked that much, and it becomes a letdown because he's older now.
But here's the thing. Goldberg is not a mat wrestler. He comes in, throws some punches, some kicks, spear, jackhammer, leave.
Don't you kind of need that with Brock Lesnar at this point, though? You need somebody that can wrestle too, or just get their ass beat?
I think it's more Goldberg as a name. Goldberg will turn heads. He will, I was a WCW guy before WWEF, and Goldberg was one of the guys that I got hooked to and fell in for wrestling. And then having him come back in WWE, I think he was used wrong. It was very, it was very, it was piss poor the way that he was used in WWE.
There are rumors that he hates Triple H because of the usage.
I mean, yeah, but I'm sure something had to, smooth out between the two parties. And hey, when it comes down to money, you put aside differences if you're going to make the money. And Goldberg would make money if he would come back to wrestle even for 1-2 matches or even be a ref. Anything. His appearance on the program.
His appearance in general would be great.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
I would take a match if it was built similar to how last year the whole Brock Lesnar Undertaker stuff was. Like when they just started a brawl. Because wouldn't it be great, like we don't even see Brock Lesnar for a little while on TV, and then Goldberg comes back and he's advertising the game and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden Lesnar decides he is going to show up because he found out Goldberg is going to be there, and there's this whole thing about, like, it's your fault that match sucked, or like, no, it's your fault, whatever, and it just turns into this brawl that ultimately leads you to, I guess, a WrestleMania match.
And Stone Cold referee. I mean, you have the whole...
I mean, like, I want them to be really heated and angry at each other.
Yeah.
So in that manner, I would go with it because you don't anticipate there to be too much wrestling necessarily in that match. Like, that's the kind of match where you'd be okay if it's built in that direction of these two throwing punches constantly at each other.
I think it would be... okay, if you're looking at a 5-star match, okay, it's not going to happen.
No.
All right? But it's going to be a match that is worth headlining a card or being at WrestleMania. It's going to be something that people are going to be talking about. Goldberg's return to WWE, even for one match. I don't care. He would make a lot of money. Brock would make a lot of money. It would be a featured match on the card. And, hey, I'm not looking for a 5-star match. I'm just looking for entertainment. And that would be entertaining to me. Two big guys, and Goldberg's still in good shape. Brock is at the top of his game. I think it would be a match much better than what we saw, over a decade ago.
Yeah, I think they would know that they needed to do it justice.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see, from a match standpoint, who else do you throw Goldberg in the ring with? There's no reason
Triple H
behind it. That's the only other person that I could think of.
Yeah.
But that Authority storyline has kind of obviously dwindled out now at this point.
Yeah. But Triple H
he would have been the right guy, similar to how you brought in Sting to put an end to the Authority.
Yeah.
But now, you don't really have that.
Sting versus Goldberg versus John Cena.
Goldberg and John Cena.
Total of 8 moves between the two guys.
Would you watch Goldberg Undertaker?
No, it'll be awful.
And the Undertaker couldn't win that match.
I mean,
you could not, in your right mind, have the Undertaker.
I would not. That match would be horrible. There'd be so many rest spots. Taker, God bless him, he's terrible on the mic, but still is entertaining. He's still a legend. But come on, we need someone that's going to be able to kind of move around and brawl with Goldberg on a bigger scale than just throwing some punches and chokeslam tombstone. We need Brock Lesnar. We need to see Goldberg physically manhandled to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Hey, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Hell in the Cell?
I don't know. That's necessary. But he has no
he
has no history with anybody else.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Jericho.
Yeah.
Would you finally?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'd love to see Jericho to get that.
I love Goldberg in WCW before, Nash buried him and before he became a joke in WCW. But his debut in WWE when The Rock was in the ring.
Oh, it was an amazing debut.
And Goldberg came out and The Rock was playing heel, that big-ass Rock belt buckle and that vest he was wearing.
Yeah.
True heel style. And Rock was like, yeah. And then Goldberg spears him across the ring.
Rock.
That was a terrific debut. And after that, it was just awful.
And it was downhill from there.
Terrible. But yeah, I would be pumped not only to play Goldberg in the video game, but to see him on WWE TV. I think it's, even for one match, I would still
he should have won the belt in the stupid Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah.
But instead they went with the ending where Triple H hits him on the head as he goes for the spear with the hammer.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of matches and good matches and bad matches and 5-star and
for your taste or not.
Yeah, so there was a match over the weekend that's turning a lot of heads, and a lot of old school guys, new school guys are commenting on it. It involves Ricochet and
Will Ospreay.
Okay, so these two guys are wrestling in Japan, very athletic guys, not brawling type wrestlers. If you watch the match, it's free on YouTube. You can, you don't need to have a subscription or pay to watch it. And the first 10 minutes is just choreographed, to me, bullshit. Now, granted, everybody has their likings. And just because I didn't like it doesn't mean you have to attack me. But I'm not going to pay money to watch that. I'm more old school if this is the show regularly. I love the old school brawling. Perfect example this weekend. Ray Rowe. Josh Alexander, two guys just wrestling beasts in the ring going at it.
And what about speaking of old school, when there was the 4-way match and it ended up being Ray Rowe and Dan Severn in the ring at the same time?
That's wrestling to me. This what we saw with Ricochet doing the flips, and these two guys, Will and them, were choreographed and just non-logical wrestling. Why would you let a guy bounce off the ropes when you can grab him and do a move? It's just things like that kind of irk me. Now, you might like it, not you, Steve, but people listening might like it and pay money. But the thing is, you're targeting an audience. Japan crowd loved it. Great. Is that going to be the future wrestling? I hope not. Would I pay money to go watch it? No. If that's like a one match a card and I got to go take a piss break during that, great. That's my piss break match. But if that's like the way wrestling is going to be, and that's what's entertaining the wrestling, if you got to be entertained to watch gymnasts be choreographed and do something like that, then I don't think you're a true wrestling fan. I'm more old school. I like the good versus evil. I like the two big guys going at it. I think cruiserweights have a spot on the card, but to have that to be what the cruiserweight match is, I think is disrespectful to guys like Jericho, Juventud Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko, guys that are cruiserweights, and they do that kind of stuff, but it still felt real. It still felt like these were two guys fighting for a purpose and not just flipping around because it looks cool.
Yeah, I think that. Look, there's no doubt that obviously the maneuvers and the things that they do are very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. I can't do that. So
And hell no, I can't do it. And visually stimulating. And it's great, and it is very cool. But I think that the people who do it the best are, and Jericho and those guys are a great example, and Guerrero, because they were cruiserweights, and they didn't do it to this level, but they could do these things and still put on a good match that makes sense, like you said, where it didn't look like it was entirely choreographed. I think the best people that I have watched in person, that aren't on the main roster but are coming from this era and have mixed it very well, are guys like Matt Cross, or we watched DJZ, who has been studying lucha for a long time, and they do such a great job at meshing this world and the old world together, so that when they do some of this new stuff, it still makes sense in how they're doing it in the match. And that's fine. Showcase your athletic ability and then do it in that manner. And your athletic ability gives you the advantage over the guy. But if you're just sitting here, yes, I tend to agree with you. I don't want to sit here and watch flip after flip after flip after flip. I want there to be a match in there somewhere too, and storytelling. Slow it down a little bit so that it is fun.
Yeah.
And like we were talking beforehand, I said Ricochet, who also is Prince Puma on Lucha Underground, he does that seamlessly on Lucha Underground, because there are massive guys on there, like Emil Muertes. And I've seen him have matches here where, great, he's doing some flip stuff, but at the same time does an incredible job selling, because it makes sense that this huge beast of a man would just slam him into the ground.
Right.
And that happens. So, I mean, with all that being said, I don't necessarily see it being the future. I do think athletic ability, I always think, should be showcased. So, sure, I'm all for having something like this. I wish it wouldn't be an entire match of just this, but I don't think it's the future, because we still just saw guys like Anderson and Gallows in Japan. There's always going to be a place where this incredible athletic ability, if nobody else can do it, you're going to ooh and ah at it. But I don't think that that's what the business will ever come to.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But when stuff like this happens, obviously you're going to have the old school guys commenting on it, and Vader was the kind of the opening round of comments. He didn't like it.
Yeah,
he commented on it, and then everybody that is in love with wrestling now in indies is kind of like took offense to it. And not everybody's going to like everything. Everybody has their opinion.
Right.
And Vader has a bigger audience because people are going to see him more, his tweets more, because he has more followers, and he is Vader. He is one of the best big men ever. So, of course, people are going to go against what he says, but everybody has an opinion. If you don't like it, I'm not going to watch it. Am I not going to watch wrestling? If that's what all wrestling is in the future, I'm not going to watch wrestling. Now, if that's like the part of the card, I think stuff like that has a spot on the card, I just won't be interested in that match. But I'm not going to rip what these guys do, because I can't do that. But
yeah,
it's not what wrestling is to me, and I'm not going to pay money to watch that.
Yeah, I think it's like anything. It's another style. Yeah. And to me, the more entertaining matches are when you have people who can blend these styles together. Look, Zack Sabre is another guy. Everything he does is very technical.
Yeah.
He's not going to do this stuff. But what he does is something that's completely different, again, than what maybe a Vader would do. But Vader or somebody might like what he does because it's so technical. But then we watch Zack Sabre and Ethan Page at AIW. Mm-hmm. Ethan's not necessarily either one of those things.
Right.
But he's a guy that can work with people and blend those styles. I think that will always be the more entertaining match, is a blend of everything together.
Yeah.
So I think you need different styles to advance wrestling, to advance the industry. But yeah, I don't think you ever want one style.
Yeah, I agree. And like everybody who wrestles on that level, they are athletic. They can do things that regular people can't. But when it looks phony and when it's not believable, that's where I have a problem with it. And it doesn't look believable to me. Didn't look, quote unquote, real to me. There was no logic behind what they were doing. But hey, if you like it, I'm not going to rip you for watching it. I'm just not going to watch it. And we have this show. We can express our opinions on it. Whether you like our show or not, you're going to listen to it. If you don't like it, we'll listen to it. That's your choice. Everybody has choices. But you shouldn't rip on me or rip on Vader or rip on the people who like it because they differ than your opinion.
Yeah, shouldn't rip on people either way.
This is America. Even though this happened in Japan, this is America. We have freedom of opinion, whether you like it or not. But
fresh off of Memorial Day.
This is America. Even though the match didn't happen on our soil.
One thing I need to point out before we wrap up, as we talk about having been at AIW last night from our Twitter at TIA Wrestling, I tweeted out a true thing that happened this weekend. As Glenn and I
walking through a cemetery.
Glenn and I walked from the hotel where everybody was staying to the bar where everybody met after Jayla tournament, and Glenn decided we should walk through a cemetery
at midnight.
At midnight, we're walking through a cemetery, and of course we come by the Soldier area, and I think that was one of my favorite conversations ever in terms of humor and back and forth. When I said, "Do you think John Cena will ever get a military funeral?" And you replied, "Yeah, I think he'll probably get buried in Arlington."
At that speech last night.
That's what made me think of it, was that speech last night.
He will probably be buried in Arlington somehow, some way down the line. I wouldn't doubt it, man.
Just because you've played a Marine in a movie.
Yeah. And I apologize for that long walk because I thought it would take much
That's
quicker.
okay. We thought it would be 10 minutes. It was 20.
But hey, walking through a graveyard at midnight, you don't do that every day.
No, there's probably a reason for that.
It wasn't that creepy. It was all right.
Sure, not at all.
We didn't see there was no thriller things going on or anything.
Nope. No Michael Jackson.
No seances going on or any kind of...
Yeah.
It was...
Thank goodness. None of that.
Thank goodness we get locked in. We didn't walk all the way and realize we can't get out.
Yeah, no boy band dancing to music.
Yeah, it was great. It was all right. All right, let's get to our awesome finish.
All right, my awesome finish this week, getting a big F5. I don't know if it's one person or multiple people, but if you've seen the story or you haven't seen the story, feel free to look it up. As a Cleveland Indians game, in the outfield, there's like a little bar section, and these people decided they were going to start stacking a pyramid of empty Miller Lite cans. You people are getting this F5 through the Miller Lite cans. Right through it, right on top of them. I don't care. You deserve my awesome finish this week because of the fact, if you're at a baseball game, and I understand some people think baseball is boring, but if you are so bored at the game that you're doing that, don't go to the game. It's that simple. It's America's pastime. You pay the ticket, watch the game. If you're that bored, you shouldn't be there. That's just like, as wrestling fans, why would you go to a wrestling event if you don't even like wrestling and just want to crap all over it? So you people who are a disgrace to fans going to this game, and now it's viral and it's a sensation, you get my awesome finish.
F5! Here comes the pain! F5 connects! The F5 connects!
My awesome finish goes to all the social media / keyboard justice warriors / guerrilla experts. Well, social media guerrilla experts. If you haven't heard the story, I don't know where you've been, but a gorilla was shot and killed because a toddler, a young child, fell or crawled his way into the gorilla pit, so to speak, and the gorilla was dragging it back and forth and kind of protecting it, keeping it away from all the commotion, but had to save the child. Child comes first, gorilla shot and killed. Or do you think the gorilla should have been shot, tranquilized, saved, whatever? All these gorilla experts came out of the woodwork, and people that I didn't know they were zoologists. I didn't know they're gorilla experts.
I had no idea either.
I didn't know these people on Twitter and Facebook and Reddit were all gorilla experts, thinking, well, the gorilla was doing this. Hey, you know what? If I need gorilla needs or questions about gorillas, I'm going to the guy with 100 followers on Twitter with the egg as his profile picture. I'm going to that guy for my gorilla advice. Those guys get my Vader bomb for my awesome finish.
Vader calling out now, Samuel Vega must move! Straight on! A Vader bomb! A cover-up count! And a victory, and I might add, a very impressive one.
All right, that's going to wrap it up here for this week's This Is Awesome Wrestling show. Kudos to AI Wrestling for letting us set up and do some interviews and getting involved. Steve, ring announcing. I'm in my commentary debut.
You did.
For one match. They said it went well. Hopefully I'm back, but it was for Frankie Flynn versus Kaplan.
Of course it was Frankie's match. Got
to go against Frankie Flynn, so I was able to do it on the mic, on commentary. Great time. And you can see Steve on doing ring announcing.
Yeah.
For my one match of commentary. AI Wrestling, if you want to go and buy the stream, buy the DVD, buy the, what do you call it? Buy the video online. There we go.
MP4.
MP4
is what that is.
You can buy the MP4 online the whole weekend. Let's go to AI Wrestling on Twitter and get the link there, courtesy of Mark's video.
Shout out to Frankie Flynn, who won the AIW student tournament during the day on Saturday.
You know what? Shout out to
the Back to the Future Cup.
Shout out to BJ Whitmer for putting him in his place.
Oh, and the Duke.
The Duke. My boy, the Duke. Woo. Duke is not too happy that we didn't play his interview, is he?
He's not. He wants to know what happened to it.
We lost the interview.
I said, I don't know.
The interview was lost, Mr. Duke. We'll have him back on.
He asked me at the after party, whatever happened to my...
Then he came to me.
I said, Glenn's right there. Ask Glenn.
I told him, like, dude, it was deleted. It was, like, gone.
Yeah, and then he came and asked me. And he's like, he said something about computer change. I was like, oh, yes, that did happen, Duke. Yeah, that did happen.
Try saving it, and the program shut down halfway through. It was terrible.
Because he listens.
The Duke listens.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's listening. We'll have him back on. We'll get Duke back on.
All right.
I felt like the interview was like rushed too. Like it was a lot of commotion going around. We'll get Duke back on in a nice relaxed setting at AI Wrestling. How about that?
A relaxed setting. Oh, we might like that.
There we go.
He might come here.
We'll bring BJ on too.
Yeah.
We'll get BJ on. So yeah, we'll get the Duke back on for a proper interview. And I'll apologize for the computer crapping out. This is before I got the MacBook.
Duke,
all right.
Oh, yeah.
Had the crappy
MacBook, that's right.
Had the crappy computer before, so we'll get him on. So we'll talk to you guys next week. Billy Gunn interview part 2 coming up next week. After that, Hornswoggle and Brian Myers. Make sure to hit up AIWrestling.com. Follow us on Twitter at TIA Wrestling. Also on Instagram and Facebook. This is AwesomeWrestlingShow.com for your news and updates when it comes to professional wrestling. Also listen to our past interviews and shows on there. We're on Libsyn, we're on iTunes. Subscribe, rate us, leave us a comment. We truly appreciate it. If you have an Android, we're on Stitcher. You can direct download the show as well. Anything I missed, Steve?
I think that's it. How about Glenmore CLE on Twitter?
Yes, there you go.
And Does Steve Guy if you just want to follow us individually for our other random things.
There it is.
When it comes to wrestling, we're constantly tweeting from the TIA Wrestling.
We are. All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. See you.